Hi, it's Sylvester, and I wanted to say, first of all, that I have never hated non binary people, but for a long time, I really, really hated the idea of being a non binary person, and I would get genuinely so offended if anybody thought that I was non binary. Again, it's not because I hated non binary people, I just really didn't want people to think that I was non binary. So when I came out as non binary, I feel like that might have confused some people because I used to be really adamant that I was not non binary, and now all of a sudden, here I am proudly calling myself non binary. So, why did I hate the idea of being non binary so much? First of all, prejudice. I'm a trans person. I'm a trans man. I was assigned female at birth, and before coming out as non-binary, I was just a binary trans man. I was just a man. I obviously faced a lot of prejudice because of that. A lot of transphobia. So if I were to be non-binary on top of being transmasculine, in theory, that would be twice the amount of prejudice. And dealing with regular old binary transphobia was bad enough for me. I see how the world treats non-binary people. I see how people think of and view non-binary people. I see the bullcrap that non-binary people have to put up with. And I saw that and said, yeah, no thank you. That's not for me. So when some people said that they thought that I was non-binary, it felt accusatory. It felt like they were accusing me of something bad rather than telling me that they thought that there was something interesting or different about me. They were just trying to essentially say, you're a freak. I also had some transphobes accuse me of being non-binary as a way of trying to invalidate my gender identity. Because I am a trans man, a lot of people look at trans men and say, you'll never be a real man. You'll always just be a girl who wants to be a boy. And some transphobes legitimately would call me non-binary or use they, them pronouns when referring to me because they were trying to let me know that I was never going to be a real man in their eyes. I was never going to be the gender that I saw myself as in their eyes. It's like they were saying, you'll never be a real man, but hey, maybe you can settle for being non-binary, which I guess is slightly better than being called a girl when you're a trans man, but still, being called non-binary when you're a trans man who's not non-binary, it does feel like an insult because it does feel like the person is trying to tell you that you're not man enough. And the third reason why I didn't want to be non-binary is probably the dumbest reason. It's because I have always been the kind of person who wants to go against the grain. I'm a bit of a rebel. I don't like being the same as everyone else. I want to be a unique little snowflake, and it felt to me like being non-binary was kind of the cool, trendy thing for people to do. Obviously, being non-binary is not a trend, but that's how it kind of felt. It felt like non-binary people were suddenly everywhere, and like it was just the popular thing to do. It's kind of like how I feel like every millennial has ADHD, and so for a long time I was proud of the fact that I didn't have ADHD because it meant that I wasn't just like every other millennial, which is obviously stupid. There's no reason to be proud of not having ADHD, and furthermore, having ADHD is not something to be ashamed of. But I really just wanted to be different. I didn't want to be like every other millennial. So for a long time, I denied being non-binary because I really, really, really didn't want to be just like all of these other people who are non-binary. I wanted to be my own thing. I wanted to be cool and special and different. And so it offended me when people thought that I was non-binary because that meant that I was just like every other millennial. And I'm not saying that all millennials are non-binary, just like not all millennials actually have ADHD. It's just that was the perception, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm sorry for all the years I spent hating myself for being non-binary, and for all the years I spent denying that I was non-binary, and all of the years that I spent trying so hard to convince myself that I wasn't non-binary. Anyway, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.